have here today is the Canonet QL17 G3. Sweet little camera that I recently acquired as a 40mm f1.7 lens, and it's in desperate need of some new light seals, as often are these older cameras that are decades old and have been sitting around. I think it's a lightly used camera. Having a good idea of where it came from, but when we look inside, you'll see that just from age what's happened to these seals. Now what you are looking at here is this is not, well, it is the light seal, but the light seal is actually in here, and just from being closed and whatnot, it has adhered over here and made this looking pretty grody. So all of this needs to be cleaned out and new seals put in. Now the hard part of the job is the cleaning. The easy part is the replacement of the seals. So to start with, I've got a little piece of Post-it here, and I'm going to place it like so in here. Well, I don't like the symmetry on this. I've got something of an asymmetric phobia, so I do like things to be symmetrical. And that looks pretty good. I could put some tape to seal that down, and maybe I will. That'd be nice if that would just sit up, but it's not going to. So I got some painter's tape, and I'm going to put that in here to hold that down. Oh, I need a little bit over here too, because this is not, dust and whatnot can get under there. I'm just going to put a small piece here, like so. That should take care of it. Okay, so where to start? I do have several tools. You can't see all that I have here, but I have quite a few tools, many of them over here with a complete X-Acto set. And I have an X-Acto knife here, and I don't know that this would actually be the best thing, but just seeing this here, I want to gently take it off, and I think, I'm not sure what is the best to use. Now with the kit that I got, there is a skewer, and I might use that, but this is some sort of a surgical tool, and I don't know if you could see, but it's pretty sharp, and it's getting right under there. Now I don't want all this stuff to fly around, so I'm going to use my little vacuum here. Ooh. Well, that head came off just as well, so what I will do is replace that. I'll put this on for, oops. I'll put this on for future vacuuming. Little more direct. So back at it here. It's coming off pretty easy. I've got a bunch of cheap paintbrushes over on the side which you can't see, but you know, you go to Hobby Town or Jones or wherever and you get these things and you can they come in pretty handy. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of, this is like nearly 100% alcohol, and apply it on here. So that actually worked pretty well. I'm going to grab a cloth and it's really not as coming off as well as I like. I've watched some YouTube videos and some say that you know, they use this naphtha or some sort of solvent like acetone, and I suppose that would probably do the trick here better than what I'm using. It's 100% alcohol, but this will do, and I can clean that up later. Now down in here, I'm going to turn on another light. I don't have quite the light that I need. Oh, much better. Should have had that on from the beginning. So let me get my glasses here. So on this camera, there's a light seal that was down in there, and for that I need the skewer that came with it. This is it's kind of dirty down in there, but it's not that bad. But most of the seal is just, except for right here, most of the seal is just like literally gone. Where it disappeared to, I don't know, but it's not there. Okay, so now what to do in here. I think what I'm going to do is I happen to have over here, excuse me just one moment. It just so happens I have a hypodermic needle. I actually use this for insulin because I'm diabetic. You can buy these at over the counter at Walmart. They like to sell them to diabetics, but I don't think you can get them to sell it to you. They're about $1 for 10. I'm going to suck up a little bit of this alcohol, and then I'm going to tip this like so. And then I'm going to inject yeah, it's in there. Just would have thought it would be coming down here. So now I'm going to put a little bit more in there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is take this instrument. This is a pretty wicked sharp instrument. Can you see the tip on that thing? Doesn't need a backing. Pretty sharp. I don't know what it's called, but okay. Now, I do have over here a rod and stock loop, and I am going to look at this under the loop, see if that helps, because my eyes are my eyesight is just not the best. But let me see here. I do think that I think it's sufficiently clean. I think that did the trick. Now I'm going to clean up this a little bit before I go any further. So take this little brush here. Okay. All right. Well, now these pop out, but I don't think I want to pop it out because I don't want to have to put it back in. So now we're going to attack this, and I think I'll start with this and see how this works, because I'll go along the sides. There's kind of a seam there. And now I'll start to go underneath. Maybe the no, not this. It would work well with this, for this. I've seen some. I mean, this is working. I watched one guy do this where he just used solvent. You know, he just got in there and used solvent, but I don't know that. I don't like the idea of just putting solvent in here. Not saying that it's not a good way to do it. I'm just saying that's not the way I'm going to do it. And I just don't feel like that's. You can see it. There's a lot here. See, it's there's quite a bit there, and you know, there's a seal here, there's a seal there, and then there's a seal down in there. This one, that one looks a little difficult, to be honest. I was just working on another camera. I have to tell you, the light seals on that camera, the old seals, came off a little easier than this. I do think that this needs to be down to the metal for the adhesion to be proper. Let me see here, I've got this here. This came out of the X-Acto kit. I wasn't thinking I'd be using this, but I'm going to try this. It's kind of like a little wood chisel, and it seems to be working, but I think what I'm going to do is combine this with some oil, some okay, so I think what it is that I don't think I have to, I don't know, do I have to go down to the metal here? You know, if you see any reading about this online, or these came from US Camera, the seal packet that I have, and you know, what they do say, the whole thing is clean, clean, clean. It's all in the cleaning. Putting the seals, not so hard. This one here looks like it will be difficult, but the real job is cleaning the surface. And these seals were really stuck onto this surface, and getting down all the way to the metal on this one, you know, I'm not even sure that I have to, although it might be the best way to go. Actually, so just so you know, you don't have to be a pro to do this. You just have to have the, you know, the tools and the, you know, gotta want to do it. Truth be told, I have a lot of cameras and whatnot, but I've never fully changed out the light seals in any camera. This is my first time, so you're watching an absolute beginner. And like so many people would say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I don't have the greatest eyesight, you know. So that's also a bit of a hindrance. Really think that even though I'm not down to the metal, that is the shiny part, you see that you can see where the metal's coming through and it's shiny. Now they say that if you I've read that if you try to, you know, put the seals over this, or anything that's residue that remains, it's just not going to work well. That residue, or what that's left, just doesn't want to really come up. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean it as good as I can without worrying about that, and then I'm going to stick the seals in. And if I'm wrong, I know what the worst case scenario is. The worst case scenario is I will have to go back and replace the seals. And you know, it's not that big of a deal. Once it's cleaned out, and then, you know, I would go back in and I would take it to the next level to get this off. I would either get the acetone or naphtha or whatever it takes to get it off, and work it out of there. Boy, there's a lot of mess here. Okay, let's see here. All right. That side came out pretty easy. It's pretty well. Now the cotton swab's not getting in there, so a solution for that is just to take this cotton swab here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off tries to leave some of the cotton. So now what I'm trying to do is get it down to approximately the thickness of the stick without removing all the cotton. So now I can get in there and kind of use the stick as a scraper. Yeah, I don't think this is the best video or angle, so you got to know I'm not very, you know, I'm new at everything. Cameras, YouTube, a lot of interest. Kind of a jack of all, master of nothing. So let me put this. I'll use the. I'll use this, and I'm going to put the cloth around it and go in there. So this could be boring. I don't really, you know, should have a story to tell, but you know, I'm not in a big storytelling mood. But the stories are great, and storytelling is great. So if you're looking to add something to your repertoire of skills, consider storytelling, because everybody loves a good story. I mean, come on, think about it. Look at how much time do you spend watching Netflix? I'm watching Stranger Things right now. I just started it. I'm on episode I think 5 of season 1, and you know, it's a story, and people love a good story. I'm enjoying Stranger Things, and Stranger Things is just a story put to, you know, they took a story and they adapted it to a screenplay. I don't think, you know, when you're in school and getting an education, you learn science and all those things, which are good. I don't think they emphasize enough to kids. Things like, you know, writing. Yeah, I gotta write this. And oh, that's just, you know, boring. But writing and storytelling, you know, are for those who are able to do it, for whom it works. Oh boy, that's harsh. Are excellent occupations. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I've got my little air thing here, and I'm going to blow it out, but I'm going to blow it out not over my desk. Okay, you heard it. I just didn't want to get more stuff here. That's, you know, you kind of got to clean as you go. Look at the mess. This is the, what, third or fourth time that I've cleaned this. And it's a mess. Okay, so these actually look pretty good. Now, do they look perfect? No. Look pretty doggone good. Now this one here, oh gosh, I don't see in there very well. So this could be a little bit of a problem. First of all, I want to see where it is. Okay, I see that now. It's setting on this, and so as I go along there, looks like, bingo, that just came right up. That seal just came right up. See here. Let me pull it out. Of course, I recommend you have tweezers. Of all the things, I've got them, but I just don't know where they're at. Trust me when I say I have the tools. And knowing where the tools are at when I need them, well, that's a different story. And sometimes I know I have the tool that I need, but I don't know where it is. So rather than spending the time looking for it, I just get another tool. Yep. Not the most... I'm basically a little bit disorganized. And I do have ADD, which I mention on a lot of videos. But then a lot of the videos that I do, I don't get put up, so I don't know what video I've set it in and what I haven't. But I do have ADD, and I am a little bit disorganized. One thing, the people with ADD, the problem is that we have is, well, focusing and staying on with, you know, if you're doing something, to stay on track and get it done without, you know, getting onto something else. It's hard to describe. I can't think of an example, but right offhand, but it's, you know, you'd be doing something and then just get distracted and then, you know, start doing something else, or not complete. I have, you know, I have cameras that I've got taken apart that I haven't put back together because, you know, I just didn't do it. And we'll see, you know, if it's always possible I could get this video, you know, and it's complete, and then I don't edit it and put it up because I moved on, you know, or I It got lost in the shuffle or something, because life is busy. Not excusing it, just saying that that's just, I mean, life is busy for everybody. I don't see how people get things done. Boy, there's a big piece in there. I might speed this one up for people who are watching, because it's kind of boring. The only way to make something like this not boring is, going back to what I said earlier, is storytelling. You know, if you could tell people a story, and you can string your lines together, they will stay tuned. But like my youngest son says, he said, "Dad, nobody wants to listen to, you know, people don't generally want to listen to ramblings." He was editing my YouTube videos, but now he's got a good job as as a photographer and videographer. So now I'll probably have to edit my own videos, and I'm not that good at that. To be honest, I don't even know how to speed up a video. So there's that. Now, I do think that I've got this clean enough. Even though I'm not seeing the metal here, I don't think that, I think that the backing will adhere to that. And I've got two nice channels here. I got the one there, and then I've got this tiny one. Now, I didn't make my own, you know, as you know you can, but I didn't make my own kit. I sent off to US Camera, and I got this light seal kit for the Canonet QL17 G3. So, and it has there's a couple of seals in here, and there's the three main ones here. So I think this is all clean enough now. Let me do one last cleaning here. I'll give this a final blow with the air. Most difficult seal to install, to me, looks like the one right here. So, let's see, this way. I think it goes down inside there. There's a little area. Looks like it goes underneath. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. That one's going to be a little tough to put in. Let me see. It goes underneath. And I have a dental tool here I can get it into place with. Where is it? Yeah. Now, getting it underneath there, though, with the backing off is going to be the trick. And it looks like that they gave me 2 of these. I think you only need 1, but looks like they gave 2. Let me see if I can get this backing off. They have a whole video on how to remove this backing. It is a little tricky. Mainly it's, you just got to get underneath here. The problem is if I take all the backing off and then it wants to stick and I don't have it in place, that's where the problem begins. Now, gee, what a pain in the ass. Okay. So, and now I see why they have a whole video on it. It's got to be easier on the larger pieces. But on this one, it's, to be honest, not that easy. So I read that, you know, if you put some Purell, which I think is like a soap, yeah, that this is the one, folks. If you can get this one, you can get them all. This is the one that's going to be difficult. Let's see. Now, I saw a guy doing this, okay, and I think he actually just like sped up. You didn't actually see it because he had such a problem. And his comment was, I could have used 5 hands, you know, to get this done. And this is a 5 hands job. I just don't even know, you know, how I'm going to do it. But I know it's possible to be done. It would help if I had somebody, another hand in here. But I'm going to use my dominant hand, and I'm going to put this down underneath, and see, I need to hold this back some. And that, well, maybe I could go underneath here. I'm going to go underneath here. If I could judge this to get this, oh, see, it's starting to stick there. Oh, lordy, lordy. This is not going to be easy. Yeah. I'm not sure what to do. I'm really not sure what to do. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this here. I'm going to reapply the backing. Like so. Excuse me, set it aside. And I'm going to do these. I'm going to do what I can do. And and not worry about what I can't do at the moment. And otherwise, you know, I'd have to do it like I did. I'd have to just stop. And which I did in another video. I was doing another video. I don't think I ever posted it. But whatever I was doing, it was such a chore that in the end I just didn't, I think I never posted it because it was just so, you know, what I thought might be not too hard was really, really a challenge. Okay. Okay, I've got this separated. Here we go. Ha. It is a little bit of a bitch. So, okay. All right. I think I got this far enough. So I'm going to apply this. Yeah. A lot of these chores, I think you could use more than 2 hands. But I did get that to go right to the mark. Oh, let's see. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Let me see. Yes. Let's zoom in here. That's the furthest part. I guess that's as far in as I can zoom. And hopefully you can see. Got this in here. And I'll stick to that. Okay. Come on, get in. Okay, so that went into there just right, and there's a little tiny piece here. Tiny piece in this kit. I think I'm going to use that to put right in that spot right there. Now, I don't know if that's how it goes, but this is stretched to the end, but it doesn't go up here. Now, this piece, let's just see how long it is. It goes in here, goes down, it actually doesn't go up. So maybe I won't do that because but it does appear that there was light seal there, but this only goes to the end. Well, I'm going to put it in like I put the other one in. Let me just close this real quick and just see how this feels. Okay. So if you buy a US camera light kit, you might want to watch the brief video they have on this. I watched it, but as you can see, it's not like having watched it has made it much easier for me. All right. Sheesh. All right. Okay, so there we go. So that goes right to the end. Doesn't go up. Huh. Okay. Just closing this to see how it feels. No, it's tighter than it was. Okay. So, got my hypodermic needle. All right, so the other one here is this very, very thin one. Now, I think I watched another guy do this, and can't remember. Maybe I'll put a link to the one I watched, but he put yarn in here instead of some sort of yarn instead of one of these, which looks like to me that if you had the right size yarn or string, it would work fine. So whatever works. And if I know the yarn or string, oh, see, this is just not wanting. The problem I had with the other piece, and now I'm having with this, is that where it separates, if you don't get a nice clean separation right where it's supposed to separate, then the foam tends to just split. You know, a piece of the foam sticks onto the sticky stuff, and then it just kind of tears. You don't want that. You got to get underneath this and separate it. So next to cleaning, the next hardest thing is just separating the backing from the foam. I should have some tweezers here, but we'll see. It's just not. See what's happening? So what I'm going to have to do, this is actually, it's just not coming apart properly. So I'm relegated to, look at that. You see what's happening here. Look at, it's just, you can't work with that. So my recommendation is, don't ever buy a light seal kit. Just get the foam and make your own. Okay? Then when you have an issue like this, it's not the end of the world. I do have some foam coming in, so I'm not going to put this on. but what I will do is my wife does some knitting, so I'll look at her yarn and whatnot. I've actually shot a roll through this camera and it didn't seem to leak, even with this, which had basically nothing in there. A little bit, but it was for the most part gone. So my challenge yet is to do the to get this piece slid underneath there, and for that I think what I'm going to do is stop and just have to continue later. To be honest, I think I'm going to get my wife to help me with this, because this is just, you know, let me see if I can show it to you. It goes down here on the bottom. It goes down here on the bottom, and you got to put it under these two little things here. So if you move that back, you know, maybe you can see that's where it goes, and it goes underneath here and across here, right across that area. And the piece is the right size and all, but I don't have 5 hands, so like I said, I'm going to get some help, and then I'll finish it, and I'll probably put a little piece of yarn in here, and then maybe clean this up just a little bit. I don't know what I'll use. Maybe I think I'll use the one of those scrubs for dish. It's got sponge on one side and a little bit of a plastic scrubber on the other, because as you can see, I think you can see, this is, I don't like the looks of that. I mean, it should be cleaned up better. And then it'll be ready to go. So I'll be back at it later. That's all for now. Okay, I'm back with the Canonet Light Seal project, and quite a bit has transpired. So firstly, I will say that due to the difficulty that I was having with the light seals and separating the foam from the backing, I went ahead and ordered some foam from Amazon. And I also went to the thrift store and bought some foam. So I'm going to show you the products that I got and briefly comment on them. This was a little larger sheet. This was maybe an inch wider. And this foam, you could see, is, for lack of better words, it's foamy foam. So, and it's got the backing on it. This was $10. This was from Amazon. And this, I think, is the best product, and this is what I used. But I'm going to show you 2 other products that I picked up at the hobby store. I think I got it at, I think I went to Hobby Lobby for this. Now, this was an 8x12 sheet. As you can see, it was 99 cents. It's a very thick foam, and no, excuse me, not thick, it's 2 millimeters. It's the same thickness, but it's a very dense foam. I'm not going to say it wouldn't work, but I will say that I didn't elect to use this. It doesn't have the sponginess of the camera foam that I got from Amazon. Additionally, though, while I was there, I picked up another sheet of foam, and it was, again, 99 cents, but this one was 12 by 18 inches, substantially larger and a little bit more foamier, but This one would have to be glued on because it has no backing. So I wouldn't recommend this, but I bought it. And since I do a lot of crafting, I may have some use for it. So now back to the Canonet. Like I said, I went through it and I took care of all the work, and I'm going to show you what I did. First of all, there is the light seal that I couldn't use from the US camera kit that I had because it was too thin, and you know, it was the right thickness, I just couldn't make the separation. And that's this one right across here. And honestly, I don't know that it actually needs this seal. It's provided, but it's a very tight, looks to me like a tight seal, but anyway, since this, you know, it came with it, it was manufactured with it, I put it in. Now, the one that I said that I would need 5 hands for, which is this one down in here, I was able to get in. And the secret for me wasn't getting 5 hands or getting my wife involved like I was planning to do, but really what I needed more than anything was to get light in there so that I could see what I was doing. I don't know if you could see this, but once I got the light in there so that I could see, excuse me, what exactly I was doing, I was able to get that seal in, and was pretty happy about that. Now, another seal that I was not even aware of, and kudos to the US camera website, because under the Canonet QL3, they have a very excellent diagram. I will provide a link that shows you where the seals go. And you know, that was very helpful because I couldn't find another video on the internet that showed where all the seals go. So this one here, which was actually the most difficult for me to remove for whatever reason, I don't know, just decades on there, but it was really welded in there. This one here I replaced. And then in the US camera kit, there were 2 tiny seals. I mean, they were like, you know, a 1/4 of an inch long or so. And I had no clue as to where they went. But on their website, they showed where they went, and I'm going to show you. One of them went right here. You can see it, I hope, going up. I'm providing a close-up image in the event you can't. And then the other one went right here on this side. So that completed the seals. Once I got all the seals in, I did put a little steel wool along this edge that I wasn't happy with to clean it up. And I you know, blew it out with some air and finished it up, and I'm quite happy with the results, and we'll be loading this camera soon and shooting it once again. So there it is, light seals for the Canonet QL17 G3. Okay, feel free to leave any comments. And, you know, I'm an amateur at this, so any comments, any advice is certainly welcome. Okay, thanks for watching.